На манекене, вот как ты наносил удары?
Did you know that they were surveilling me before I killed? And then I knew it?
Darkness does not always fall after sunset. Sometimes it casts its shadow in broad daylight, cloaking ordinary settings with heinous crimes. As we dive into these tales, we journey into the worst humanity has to offer. Today, we explore the worst crimes in history. Our first case takes us to the heart of Colombia, where we meet monster of the Andes, Pedro López. In the late 70s, López left a bloody trail across Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. His victims were young girls, some as young as 9.
Realmente cometió Pedro Alonso.
Yo no cometía, yo estoy implicado como cómplice, claro que participé en el hecho, pero me tenía sugestionado bajo amenaza de muerte, que si lo delataba, que él me mataba.
Pero Jorge Patiño eres tú mismo, decía.
No, padre, yo Pedro Alonso lo que para servirle.
Born in 1948, López had a troubled upbringing. Kicked out of his home at a young age, he grew up amidst violence, ultimately falling into a life of crime himself. As he crossed borders, López's crimes grew in scale and brutality. He stalked his victims, often in broad daylight, watching them closely before making his move. In many instances, he would lure them away with small gifts, only to lead them to their doom. Meanwhile, López, a transient figure, would blend into the crowd, unnoticed and unchallenged, moving from town to town, leaving a wake of devastation and heartbreak. His crimes ended in 1980. In an Ecuadorian market, López attempted to lure away another young girl. However, this time a vendor saw and raised an alarm. López was arrested, but the full extent of his actions were yet to be revealed. Upon interrogation, López confessed to his shocking deeds, claiming to have taken the lives of more than 300 girls. Police were initially skeptical until he led them to a mass grave with 53 bodies. He was then diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder, which didn't spare him from justice. He was found guilty in 1983. Back in the US, we encounter a female presence on our list, Aileen Wuornos. Over a 12-month span beginning in 1989, Wuornos murdered 7 men, whom she claimed had either raped or attempted to rape her while she was working as a prostitute. Wuornos would shoot her victims at point-blank range, rob them, and then abandon their bodies along Florida's highways. In a highly publicized trial,
Hello?
Hi.
Yes. Yes.
Hi.
Hey.
I had to call you early because I didn't know if you were going to make it today or what.
I don't... What the hell's going on, Lee? They've called. They've been up to my parents again. They've got my sister now asking her questions, so what the hell's going on?
Huh.
Wuornos was found guilty of 6 out of 7 murders. She received 6 death sentences and was executed by lethal injection in 2002. She was later named America's first female serial killer. Next on our list, we introduce Dennis Rader, also known by his moniker BTK Killer, which stood for Bind, Torture, Kill. Born in 1945, Rader lived an unassuming life in Kansas. He was a church president, a family man, and a city compliance officer. But beneath this normalcy lurked a psychopathic killer whose crimes spanned over 3 decades. Rader's series of murders began with the Otero family in 1974. He broke into their home and bound and strangled 4 people. He derived a perverse pleasure from the control he had over his victims, often watching them suffocate. Over the years, Rader's crimes escalated, both in their brutality and audacity. He not only left behind staged crime scenes, but also taunted the cops by sending letters to the media and even suggesting his BTK nickname. Rader managed to remain elusive by blending back into his everyday life. Rader's downfall came in 2005, when he resumed contact with the police. The digital age had dawned, and Rader, not understanding the traceability of modern technology, this led to his arrest, shocking a community who had known him as a model citizen. Finally, we journey to Russia, where Alexander Pichushkin, the chessboard killer, turned a serene park into his personal hunting ground. Pichushkin targeted elderly homeless men, luring them with the promise of vodka. His murderous reign spanned from 1992 to 2006, and he aimed to kill as many people as there were spaces on a chessboard. 64. Pichushkin was obsessed with chess at an early age. A seemingly harmless hobby, it took on a dark twist as he started equating his victims with the game's squares. In a nearby park, he would offer homeless men a drink as a token of friendship. Once they were intoxicated, Pichushkin would ambush them to death, often leaving a bottle of vodka sticking out of their skulls in a signature move. His spree ended in 2006 when a woman he had worked with left a note at home stating she was going for a walk with Pichushkin. When she was found dead, the authorities zeroed in on him. Under questioning, Pichushkin confessed, not just to her murder, but to dozens more. Despite their efforts to evade capture, each of these killers faced their reckoning in the face of the law. The echoes of their crimes, however, will linger long in our memory, standing testament to the worst crimes in history. Join us next time as we continue to peel back the dark veil on humanity's most terrifying tales.